my name is Dr. Nihalika. May I know your name and age, please?
My name is Bhavan Kumar and I'm 21 years old.
Do you have any neurological disorders?
No.
Today we are going to examine the motor system.
Okay.
Before examining the patient, we should sanitize our hands. Position. Observe the patient's body position during movement and at rest. Abnormal position alert you to conditions such as mono or hemiparesis from stroke. Involuntary movements. Observe for the tremors, tricks or chorea. Fasciculations. Note their location, quality, rhythm and amplitude and their relation to the posture activity, fatigue, emotion and other factors. Muscle bulk. Inspect the size and contour of the muscle, flat or concave, suggesting the loss of muscle bulk from atrophy or wasting. If so, it is a process of the unilateral, bilateral, proximal or distal. When inspecting for a trophy, pay particularly attention to the hand, shoulder, thighs and leg, the spaces between the metacarpals where the dorsal intersosai muscle lies should fully or slightly depressed. Thinner or hypothinner emissions of the hand should be fully and convex. Atrophy of the hand occurs in normal aging. For fasciculations in atrophic muscle, if absent, tap on the muscles with a reflex hammer which stimulates muscle tone. When a normal muscle with an intact nerve supply is relaxed voluntarily, it maintains a slight residual tension known as muscle tone. This is the best assessed by the feeling of the muscle resistance to the passive stretch, holding one hand with yours and supporting the elbow. To assess the muscle tone in the neck, place the hand, the patient's thigh with one hand and grasp the foot with other hand and flex and extend the patient's leg, knee and ankle on each side. Note the resistance to moving the limb. Test for muscle strength.
Normal should allow for factors like age, sex, and muscular training. Normally, the dominant side is stronger than the non dominant side. Muscle is strongest when shortest and weakest when longest. If muscles are too weak to overcome resistance, test them against gravity alone or with gravity eliminated. When the forearm rests in a pronated position, for example, dorsiflexion at the wrist can be tested against gravity alone.
Test for the flexion and extension of the elbow.
Asking for the patient to pull and push against your hand.
Test for the wrist. Make fist. By pressing down, oppose my force. Now test for grip strength. catch my two fingers. Now test for abduction. Can you place your fingers like this? Oppose my resistance
While I'm forcing them together. Weak fingers abduction occurs in ulnar nerve disorders.
Now test for the opposition of the thumb by placing my little finger. Resist the force. Test for flexion of the hip by placing my hand on the mid thigh of the patient. Raise your leg against my hand. Next, test for adduction by placing my hand on the bed in the middle of the knee. Resist my force. Get close to your legs. This is called adduction. Now I am placing my hand on the outside of the knee. Now resist my force. Abduct your legs. This is a test for abduction. Extension of the hip by placing my hand on the down of the posterior thigh, asking for the patient to resist. This is known as test for extension of the hip. Now we are performing for the test for extension of the knee. By pushing my hand down, test flexion of the knee.
Asking for the patient to keep foot down as I am trying to straighten the leg.
Now foot dorsiflexion and plantar flexion. Dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, of the foot.